Hey YouTube friends, I gotta make another video because I think I figured out who made this radio, I think. So I gotta show you how I figured it out. And I also gotta make a video because there's some people that are, and I wrote everyone I'm pretty sure I wrote everybody. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Like to stop looking for what this is because I know I really appreciate everyone taking their time to try to find it, but I don't want you to waste your time anymore because I think I found out who made it. So let me look around the back of this thing, okay? See, what I did was, this this cable came here, and I was thinking this was labeled PU. I thought that could have been for power, and this one's labeled antenna. I forget what this one was labeled as. And I saw this cable, and I figured, well, this was like where a power plugs in, kind of like a cheater plug. And I saw this cable, and I said, well, that was part of the radio itself, like some kind of cable that connects one part to the other, and they just ran a cable there. But I was wrong, because what's going on here is that I kind of dug the cable out, and when I dug it out, I found the plug on the bottom of it here, and that's actually the European plug, European polarity. I gotta show you something though. It's going to be tricky, but let me get my magnifying glass. So I didn't see this before because I didn't even know that the plug was on the radio. But let's see here. It's still hard to see. But if you trust me, there's a part in the middle of there, the middle of the plug, and it says CEBEC, CEBEC. And I said, well, that must mean something, CEBEC. So I went downstairs and got on the computer, and let me show you what I found out. Okay, what I did was I did some Googling around, and I found this site. It's lappUSA.com/internation plugs, not international, but internation plugs.htm. And I found it here. It says this one here. Let's see if I could get this to work right. You see, it says CEBEC. It's slightly different than the insignia on the plug here. Here's the plug. This has like a round thing that says CEBEC, but it still says CEBEC, and it says Belgium. CEBEC, Belgium Electrotechnical Committee. And what it says is the recognized Association for Belgium Standards is the Belgium Electrotechnical Committee, CEB. The range of CEB standards is similar to the IEC. The CEBEC mark, molded into a plug or connector, indicates that the product has been tested and approved by CEBEC for use in Belgium. CEBEC approval is voluntary. See, okay, so now I know that this radio was most likely made in Belgium, And the other clue was over here. I'll bring the camera here. This tube here was made in Belgium. And I think I mentioned that in the last video I made. But see, that's what I'm figuring out. Like this thing's made in Belgium, even though it has a UK speaker, and this is a Belgium tube. So anyway, let me show you what else I did on this thing too to figure it out. Yeah, I started doing some more Googling around, and I found this radiomuseum.org, and I think someone runs this in Europe. I'm not sure. But I found this, I was looking at Belgium radios, and I found this Joseph Brugmans and Dagger Belgium radio collection. So this guy has a lot of Belgium radios, and he has all these different names. So I started going through everyone here. And I must have spent like about 5 hours doing all this last night. But I started going through everything. and I found something that looked like the radio. There, look. Now, it took me like hours to be searching, but I did come across this site, and this site had this WEVO Halen radio, 1948. So I started clicking on here. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, here it is, look. See? Now that's what the radio here looks like, this WEVO radio. And you can see it got two here, and it's got a knob here on the side, and then it has what it looks like in the back. Now it doesn't have that funny insignia that I have on my radio, like the V and the O, but then that could be like part of like the name WEVO, like it has the V and the O. But if you look here on this back here, you can see a shaft here for control, and I already know there's a control on the other side, so it's just like my orientation on my radio. See, watch, hang on. Yeah, here's a picture of the WEVO radio, and this is what mine looks like here. I mean, it's not the same thing, but it's similar, and it has like that unusual arrangement of two knobs in the front and two on the side. So then let me show you the back of it now too. Hang on. See, here's a picture of the WEVO radio 548 made in 1948. It uses the same style tubes made in Belgium. Now, even though it's 1948, these tubes are designed in 1936, but because I guess of the war, and they must have had like excess supply of these older tubes, they still use the older tube style, even in 1948. But if you look at the plugs, watch this. This is on the computer. See, here's the plug there, like some kind of plug there, some kind of plug there. Now let me look at mine. Watch. Plug there, and a plug there. It's a little different. And I also found out that the PU here stands for pickup. That's where the phonograph would plug in that one. And this one was AT, so I figured that's for antenna. And I forgot what this one said. Let's see. No, never mind. I take it back. I must have got confused. This one says PU, so that one's for pickup. That one says AT. What does this one say? That one says HP. So I have no idea what HP could stand for, but it's some kind of input you plug there for HP. But that's not the point I was trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that this has the three holes here for the three connectors, and same over here. There's three connectors there. So it's very similar. And watch this. Look at the case on the picture on the internet. See like how they got the tang for the cover, and see how the wood is made. So watch this. You look at mine, and it's the same thing. It's got the tang, and the wood's made the same way, like the same indentation where the cover would sit in there. And also, if you look at here, here's the Celestian speaker. You can see like the three screws that hold it together, a permanent magnet speaker. Now watch this. I'll move over here to here, and this is the picture on this one. You can see 1, 2, 3 screws holding that permanent magnet speaker together, and it sure looks like the Celestian speaker. So what I found out later, I found out some more on this radio too. And what I do is I found the Dutch site, and I used Google Translate, and this is like really good. I mean, it's not perfect, but I got the idea. WEVO started by a gentleman called Wilhelm Voss, a German engineer. I guess he was from Northeim, started in 1932. It says about his personal life. He married widow Anna Landridges in the alley near Industrial Street. And it has some things that don't make much sense. It says to delete a company that produced radio. It must mean he started a company that produced radios. And let's see, it said that there, WEVO was a full-fledged company that designed its devices to spot. I think it means like they designed their own devices, their own on the spot, like their own specifications. It says they signed the schema. I think it means like they made like a schematic maybe, a prototype made. They pressed the metal chassis of the equipment with a cadmium bad rust. I think it was trying to say is that they like cadmium plated the chassis to prevent rust. And it says the above matrices were developed on the spot, so the company did all this stuff on their own. But it says here, it says 1950, but I think it was done before that. It said that this Waldman engineer, he was a major input into design, but it said here that standard parts such as bulbs, resistors, and knobs to be bought by MBLE, but that's where the tubes came from, MBLE, or Philips. So Philips supplied some of the parts for the radio too. And apparently, I think it was probably before 1950, but apparently they were getting the speakers from Celestion, and that's a UK company. So it says some more about the company, but it has some good history there. So unfortunately, though, I don't see how I could get a schematic for this thing. But I do believe the radio was made like around 1948, or probably before 1948. And I do believe, from what I showed here, that I think I got the right company here. So I really appreciate everyone's hard work here. There was some people that wrote me, said they worked on hours on this. And I felt kind of bad that they're spending so much time on it. And I wish I saw this plug earlier. I didn't even realize that the plug was jammed inside the radio. It was like it was hitting inside there. But it does have actually the power cord already attached. And the CEBEC was the huge clue where it says CEBEC. But you could see the similarities here, remarkable. See, it has the way the grill is made, and the basic configuration of it. And you see like the two struts in the middle, like one goes like that and one goes like that. And I'll show you my radio again. See, you can see the struts, one like that, and then the way the dial is there, and then the knobs configuration. Of course, we don't have. Anyway, I think it's a wrap. We got the radio looking like this, and I wanted to show this again real quick. But the V and the O could be part of WEVO, or it could be part of his name Voss, which of course where they got WEVO from. So I'm not sure what the middle thing is supposed to suggest, but it maybe somehow where they get the WEVO from, I'm not sure, but it definitely is a V and an O. So that's another big clue here. But the middle piece here, with that structure there, so close to the structure on this radio in the picture. I mean, it's really close. So again, I really want to thank everyone for their hard work. And like I said, some people work for hours on this, and I feel like really bad about that. But I didn't know if anyone would want to work that hard to try to find it. I just figured maybe someone saw the radio before and knew what it was, kind of straight off. But I really appreciate that. And you don't know how much that means to me. It means a whole lot that people that don't even know me would try to help me out like that. And I really, really appreciate that. So have a great day, folks. Take it easy.